Chosen one. My dear friend, I want to ask you a question that usually keeps people like us awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling. What is more terrifying than being alone? To me, the answer is simple. It is the thought of leaving this world with the greatest treasure God placed inside you, still locked away. As a chosen one in your 50s or 60s, you've spent a lifetime pouring into others. You've been the healer, the rock, and the one everyone leans on. But there's a secret ache in your heart, a fear that you will never meet someone who truly sees the magnitude of your assignment. You're tired of halfway love and people who treat you like a fixer-upper project rather than a strategic partner. Most spiritual channels will tell you that a soulmate is a reward for your suffering, a place to finally rest. But I'm here to give you solid food. In 2026, your partner isn't a recliner. They are a mission key. This is where we move from vague vibes to a biological protocol called limbic resonance. Limbic resonance is a documented neurological state where two people's nervous systems harmonize to regulate each other's heart rate, immune function, and even epigenetics. When you are with a spiritual counterfeit, someone you're trying to fix, your brain is trapped in a cortisol loop. Your body is in a constant state of low-level alarm, which shuts down your prefrontal cortex, the very part of your brain you need to manifest your 2026 legacy. You aren't being holy by staying with a drainer. You are biologically sabotaging your divine assignment. A true kingdom connection operates on a different frequency. They don't come to fix your old wounds. That's a project for you and the Father. They come because they possess the specific frequency code that your mission lacks. Look at a real-world example. Coretta Scott King and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. History often paints Coretta as just the supportive wife, but she was a highly trained singer and a fierce activist long before they met. She was Martin's limbic anchor. In the darkest nights of the civil rights movement, when the world was trying to crush Martin's spirit, it was Coretta's resonance, her strategic mind and unwavering frequency, that stabilized his nervous system. She didn't just comfort him, she fueled his dream. She was the hardware that allowed his visionary software to run without crashing. The lesson for you today is this: you are a command center, not a hospital. Stop looking for a patient to save. That is an old system error. Your 2026 partner is someone who makes you more creative, more courageous, and more effective. If their presence doesn't lower your cortisol and spark your divine dopamine, they aren't the key. They are the distraction. But how do we stop these drainers from taking up space? How do we perform a frequency audit on our own lives to make room for the diamond? We are moving now to the most vital part of our journey, the activation protocol, where I will show you exactly how to clear the space for your strategic partner to appear. The activation protocol. From spiritual milk to solid food. Now that we understand the biological mechanics of limbic resonance, it is time to stop being a spectator of your own life. You've spent enough years waiting for a sign from the clouds. Today, we install the activation protocol. We are moving away from spiritual milk, those vague, feel-good promises, and moving into solid food. This is about high-level stewardship. This is about biohacking your environment so that your 2026 strategic partner has no choice but to be pulled into your orbit. To attract a diamond, you must stop acting like a hospital. Here is your 3-step protocol to reset your system. Step 1. The mission frequency audit. The legacy blueprint. Most people at our age, between 45 and 65, make a dating checklist. They want someone who likes travel, someone who is nice, someone who goes to church. That is an old, outdated checklist protocol. As a chosen one, you don't need a playmate. You need a multiplier. I want you to perform a mission frequency audit. Instead of a checklist, I want you to write down your 2026 legacy blueprint. Ask yourself, what are the 3 things I absolutely must accomplish for the kingdom before I leave this earth? Is it writing that book? Is it launching that nonprofit? Is it building a legacy of financial freedom for your grandchildren? Once you identify your top 3, you have your frequency code. Your strategic partner is the person who possesses the hardware to run your software. For example, look at Andrew Carnegie, the great American industrialist. He had a massive vision for philanthropy, what he called the gospel of wealth. But he needed a very specific key to unlock his legacy. He found that in his wife, Louise Whitfield. She wasn't just a companion, she was a partner in his mission. Louise was the one who encouraged and signed off on his massive donations to libraries and universities. She didn't come to fix his loneliness, she came to facilitate his legacy. When you audit your mission first, you stop looking for someone to love and start recognizing someone to build with. Step 2. The 90-day fruit test, monitoring your biosignatures. Once someone enters your field, do not trust your initial emotions. Your emotions can be hijacked by a dopamine spike. Instead, trust your biological protocol. I want you to apply the 90-day fruit test. In these 3 months, you are not committing, you are observing, you are checking for limbic resonance. Listen to me closely. If the presence of this person causes anxiety spikes or a fight or flight sensation in your gut, your epigenetics are sounding an alarm. That is a counterfeit. Even if they speak the language of faith, if your body feels drained after talking to them, they are a biological mismatch. However, if their presence activates your vagus nerve, meaning you feel a deep, grounded peace, and your creativity starts to flow effortlessly, that is a sign of resonance. A true partner will make you better at your assignment, not distract you from it. In those 90 ungoi, observe the fruit of their life when the mask slips. Do they respect your mission, or do they try to compete with it? Peace is the umpire of your destiny. If there is no peace in your biology, there is no God in the connection. Step 3. The space cleansing ritual, cutting soul ties. Finally, we must perform a physical and spiritual system purge. You cannot receive a diamond while your hands are still full of rags from your past. Many of you are still carrying soul ties, unseen energetic and neurological links to people who only know how to drain you. These drainers are like background apps on a phone that eat up all your battery life. They are people from your past who you are still trying to save or fix out of a sense of misplaced guilt. To activate your titanium vault, you must perform a space cleansing. This is a literal act. Delete the numbers. Block the time thieves. Stop the spiritual nursing of people who refuse to grow. This isn't being unchristian. It is being a wise steward of the oil in your lamp. When you cut these ties, your body's systemic inflammation actually decreases. You lower your cortisol levels, making room for the oxytocin of a true kingdom connection. You are creating a vacuum that the Holy Spirit is authorized to fill with your 2026 strategic partner. My friend, you are not a fixer-upper. You are an ambassador. You are a kingdom leader. It is time to stop apologizing for the high price of your presence. When you align your biology with your mission, the key will find the lock. I can feel the shift happening for you right now. You're moving from a state of waiting to a state of occupation. But as we prepare to wrap up this directive, There is one final Tiang Liang, sacred step, you must take to seal this frequency. Your solitary season wasn't a punishment ambassador. It was a necessary calibration. Heaven has been refining your frequency so you no longer settle for a patient, but recognize a partner. Remember, your 2026 soulmate is the biological bridge to your greatest assignment. By applying the Limbic Resonance Protocol, you are no longer guessing. You are governing your heart with biological authority. This isn't just about romance. It's about the epigenetic legacy you are called to leave behind. Trust the peace in your nervous system. It is the Holy Spirit's compass. The key is already moving toward the lock, and the resonance will be undeniable. If you are ready to stop waiting and start occupying your divine territory with your strategic partner, seal this message now. Comment, I activate my mission code. Subscribe to this channel to receive your ongoing directives from the throne room. Your mission hasn't just begun. It's about to accelerate. Godspeed.